This is Tony Baca, Senior Vice President of Safety at Berglund Construction Company, and this week's safety talk is going to be on crane picks and crane requirements on our projects. And each and every project is a little bit different logistically. As you can see here, I am downtown in the city, urban area, actually in a parking lot. We've taken half of the lot, and our crane for this purpose is to offload an entire roof tear-off with one of our subcontractors. So the crane company gave us a pick plan, which is required. In 2010, the crane standard changed from subpart N of OSHA to subpart CC, and it has its own federal regulation here now. And it requires a crane pick. It requires the operator to give us his credentials, making sure that he's current. It requires us to check and have a copy of the crane annual inspection. This crane needs to be inspected every year by a third party to make sure that it is in full function at all times. Then, when we come to the project, we're looking at the terrain. Is it soil? Is it blacktop? Are we using the distribution mats? Now, it's best practice to use the distribution mats, especially on blacktop in July, August, September, where this blacktop gets a little bit unstable and it gets soft. But also looking at whether it's a mud terrain or an asphalt terrain or a concrete terrain, look for vaulted areas in your walk-around inspection of the area. Also, while he's operating the crane, we need to barricade the swing radius of the crane. It is not okay for any of us to walk into that space and talk to the operator while he's lifting anything overhead. And then something to keep in mind: who's rigging, and is it possible that a load could let loose and fall to the ground? Overhead protection. And then once again, communication. Only one person at a time can be communicating with the crane operator. Whether that's by radio or a hardline system is that prerogative of the team that he's working for. There are a lot of hazards associated with cranes. We need to understand what he's picking, how much it weighs, how far he's booming out, and then again, what the capacity of that would be on the boom. All these calcs have to be performed to determine whether or not we have any critical picks. And then also, and a critical pick, just in definition, is a pick that would be 75% of the counterweight of the crane or more. And that's a lot of weight for this guy to pick and boom out with. Additionally, wherever you're setting up your crane, always look for overhead power lines. The new standard with cranes states at no time can this crane be swinging a load within 20 feet of overhead power lines. They are the silent killer in cranes. When you think about cranes, we always think about, wow, a collapse is probably the leading killer in cranes. And in reality, it is not. It is overhead power lines making contact with and then arcing back to the crane, and that does affect the ground around the circumference of the crane and any tradesman working in the vicinity of. So this week, let's talk a little bit about crane use on our projects, maybe some of the experiences that you've experienced throughout your careers, and then of course the safety procedures applied. Let's have a safe day. Let's have a safe week. Thank you.